We on?
We're back. RacingRant Park, and we're talking about Sydney in Melbourne tomorrow. It's of course Cox Plate Day, and for anybody who is at Moonee Valley tomorrow, well, you're probably already warned. It's going to be 13 degrees and showery, blowy, a really pleasant day
In Melbourne.
Yeah. It's not going to be much better up here, but anyway, it's yeah.
And the track?
Oh, the track will be fast.
No. Where's the best position in running?
Well, it's hard to say because they use the track tonight, obviously, and so we're expecting them to play away from the rails tomorrow. But if you recall last year, it was up the inside. Winks got the PR of all PRs in the Cox Plate to win by 27 lengths.
I think it might have overcome that bias.
So we'll wait and see on that one. We kick off tomorrow at Moonee Valley, and I should mention that Mick is obviously covering the card for RacingRant. So Mick's Melbourne Mail is the service that will cover all 10 at Moonee Valley tomorrow. And the first is the Inglis banner, so it's this sales race for Inglis horses, and Louisa, after debuting for the win in Sydney, has gone down there to be $3 in favourite. I don't know Azazel, who's by the likely stable Tony McAvoy. He's quite potent in these sort of races. $5.50, and Pure Emotion from Clinton McDonald is $8. Good. We saw Louisa. She was urgent in the trials, urgent in the race. I see he's put blinkers on her tomorrow. It's like throwing everything at her.
Because she's limited. And he wants to get the wins out of her.
Well, it's a big prize money affair.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got Huey Bowman on board. I have to be slightly against it. I know that we talked about the track bias on that particular day at Randwick, but and it switched around later on in the day. But I think early on in the day, with the direction of the wind, it was a massive advantage to be leading and just a professional type over the 1,000 metres there. So
yeah, she sort of cheated, didn't she?
I would look to play around her, but then where do I go? You know, so
well, this Gay first starter was in the heat that I mentioned to you where the time was wrong. So I think the time might have been a second slower. Is that what I said? So that's obviously a concern. It starts out with blinkers. Anthony Cummings is he had a lot of success in this race and the other sales races with that filly, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago that seemed to win all of them. It started out winning with this one. I noticed that it's had a 735 metre trial, so not carrying anything of yours. So we'll let that one go.
Some of them haven't even trialled, have they? I mean, look, I'd just be looking to bet around Louisa. The one that actually has had a start, which is always a good thing for 2-year-olds, is number 9, Miss Wahoo by Tony McAvoy, with Karen on board. It's probably some sort of a chance, but I was going to lean towards whichever one Mick found as far as the Melbourne horses were concerned.
He may actually pass on the race. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Now then we got another short course race. Good old Felines has popped down there. The market reads $3.60 O'Malley, who is trained by the very illustrious and well-renowned Enver Yusufovic. How do you say that?
Did you practice it?
No, I didn't practice it. Yusufovic. Yeah, Enver Yusufovic. And O'Malley is trained at Cranbourne and ridden by Froggy Newitt. That won't encourage many people. Winner at the track. We've got $9 Diamond Oasis, who is now trained by Darren Weir. $5 Gun Case, another Darren Weir, and $9 Taco. Any thoughts, Gord?
Well, Feline just stamps itself as that whenever it goes round in a short course, it's a great chance. And it's a better chance than its odds normally. So what price did you say it was?
$6.50.
Well, I'd suggest that's a Bowman on board. If you have a look 2 starts back, it ran around 1,000 metres against horses like Southern Legend and Haptic.
And Rosen Man.
Oh, tomorrow, hey. Well, I haven't found Rosen Man tomorrow, but yeah, I'd suggest my play in the race would be number 1 Felines. Question mark obviously about number 7 Gun Case, who has the Melbourne form and the lovely distance stats and track stats as well.
Yes, the 955 metre specialist gun case.
I had a bit of a question mark about O'Malley.
Yeah, well, it should seem short enough. Then we've got a fillies race where there's a number of Sydney fillies that are engaged, and the market reads $5.50 in favourite Sweet Cherry, $8 Prompt Response, trained by Gay, $8.50 Brûlée, $9 Overstep, who I know, $9 Angarad, $11 Blowing Kisses, $14 Janot, $17 Gretna, $16 Alluvian, a little pet of yours, Gord, and $26 Rosa Carolina.
Pretty keen on this race, particularly at the price. I mean, Paul Perry takes a horse down there and gets Hugh Bowman to ride it for him. It's had 3 trials. The last was over 1,000 metres, and in my RacingRant form guide it says 52.8, so I was wondering if you actually had an adjusted figure for that one.
No, I don't, but the time's okay. There was only 2 in the heat, obviously.
It was always a horse that I had an opinion of last preparation in Sydney. Could just be better than these, and they're taking gigantic odds about it. I'd suggest it's a pretty good bet, number 7 Janot.
Right, there's one at long odds for Gord. I'm not sure what's happened to Prompt Response down there, who...
It's unlucky last start. Yeah.
Overstep is a horse that I have a bit of time for that has had a freshen up since the 1400 metre run. I'd suggest that she's going to be competitive. Angarad I have no opinion of.
Look, a pretty smart judge has told me that Sweet Cherry is a decent horse, but I've got to be against it. It's not proven, and I think that is just weaker form. So we'll see. And My Country has to be a chance too, doesn't it?
It's scratched. My Country's scratched.
Oh.
So Bowman goes on to Rosa Carolina, which I know Glenn thinks is a bit of a rabbit, but...
Are you saying Janot's scratched?
No.
Janot.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, he's double booked. So,
yeah.
So given that he's on Rosa Carolina, he may be held to that. One of those situations where if the emergency gets a start, then the jockey is generally held to the emergency. That's what otherwise they wouldn't do it. Yeah. Wait and see on that one. That's the Crockett Stakes, and then we're in a very interesting 3-year-old Colton Geldings race, this time over the same distance. Ken's Dream, Darren Weir is $2.90. Archives, Blue Colours is $2.90. $7 Palladian and $7 Damn Ready. Now, Gord, I must say that Palladian did a good job to pick himself up off that inside gate there at Warwick Farm the other day. I know he only ran over his stablemate, but...
Geez, I was so hoping you were going to ask me first. Yes, I like to run Palladian. I know it was only a Wednesday 40k race, but he did a good job. Before that, he came second to Nicolance, which I think is going to be a pretty good form reference for these 3-year-olds, and 3 starts at 1100 metres, now up to 1200 metres.
Finally, yeah.
It all just seems right.
It's $10 backup. I'm itching.
Yep. And if you notice, as far as if you have a distance query with the 11 to 12, which is a completely different beast, he did actually come second to Akator over 1250 at Canterbury
on debut.
Yeah. So I'd suggest he is a good play in the race.
I don't... Archives I have seen before in a very, very... You recall the race where Glenn was just complaining about...
Off to work?
yeah, off to work. Archives made his debut in that race where Legere just got away with things because T England dropped the whip on Baltic Whisperer, and Archives heavily backed, smashed the running rail halfway through the race. Subsequently we went out there and won at Doomben, but coming back from the Caulfield Guineas prelude. Then we've got a mare's race where Lady LaFay is $2.50 in favourite, and it's $9.50 bar, so metaphorical $9.50, $10 Rocket Commander, $10 Antelican, and $10 Alaskan Rose. Lady LaFay chased with determination the other day, or does she need further now?
I just thought she was well found in the market. I'm not sure about the form coming out of that Dixie Blossoms Happy Hannah race. I don't think that's the superior Sydney form.
To what? What are you comparing it with?
Comparing it with?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Metrops, Epsoms, anything that's run near Southern Legend. Anything run against Winks, Hartnell. There's such good Sydney form. I know that's different as far as these horses are concerned, but it's got to be a great chance. I'm just suggesting that's not the primary stuff, and it actually got beaten by Sons of John and Torgerson. I know it was first up, but that's not solid
and
Sydney
Handfast.
form. There you go.
I think it did a really good job the other day. They were lickety split home there, and she kept driving away there on the inside. I was quite impressed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the price bunch? Seems a bit short, doesn't it?
Well, there's nuffies in the race.
Well,
But I mean,
yeah.
look, I do say that she's more of a 2,000 metre horse, so she's already had the run at the mile, and she may be looking for the 2,000 already.
Well, I have number 9, Alaskan Rose, on top at $10. Third up, 1,600 metres. Was wide last start and just sort of like loomed like it was going to be a really good chance, and then I just think condition gave out. So I actually think it's perfect tomorrow. It's fit now. The only thing is we'd like to see a little bit of rain for it because it goes.
Well,
better on the
there's
wet.
rain happening right now, and there will be showers tomorrow, so I don't think the track can stay fast. So that's the Maroney-Maloney combination you're going there for.
I know, it's a bit confusing. I was thinking, is this a father-son thing? And then I thought, no, there's a letter difference.
So then there's a mile fillies classic where I Am a Star is $2.60. We saw I Am a Star in Sydney. Cezanne, Gordon's group horse, is $3.60.
And
fresh off the
proven
flight stakes.
as a group horse, Mark.
Yeah. $8 La Luna Rossa and $13 Japanda. So
Only 2 chances, 1 and 3. I have 3 on top. I'd be a little bit scared if it was with a different trainer, but Chris Waller, 5th up, isn't a problem. It's had a freshen up. It's still at the 1,600 metres. And Glenn told me in the mounting yard when we were watching it last start that it still was really healthy and had condition. So I'd suggest that it's not going to be busted up, and I've always had an opinion of the horse, and we've got Huey Bowman booking yet again, so I'm 3 from 1.
how's he feeling leading into the feature tomorrow, H. Bowman? Is it just business
Like,
as
if
usual?
he doesn't ride 3 winners, it's a massive disappointment, I'd suggest.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I Am a Star was. There was a bit of a chink there in her Sydney run that didn't impress me, and you're never going to get me excited about any horse Stephen King rides since Let's Elope.
Yeah, well, there you go. How many years ago is that?
1991, so it's 25 years ago.
25 years ago, wow.
Okay, so that's then we're into the Crystal Mile, the Scripps Crystal Mile, which is down to a field of 7. $3.20 the United States on a Melbourne Cup preparation, perhaps.
No.
It's running out of time. $4.25 he or she off the 3rd placing behind Winks and Blackheart Bart.
Or last placing.
$5.50 Federal, who's what has he done since he ran up the inside in the Bill Ritchie there?
Yeah, none. Sons of John Torgerson race yet again.
Yes, but subsequent to that he ran 3rd to
Ullman and
I see
Akabura.
who's another who's against him again tomorrow. $7 Ullman, $7 Royal Rapture. Well,
United States.
it's a good horse.
It's a good horse. It's clearly the best horse in this race. The question mark about he or she, I like the 2,000 metres back to 1,600 metres, but I think he's a bit of a dry tracker. So if you're right about the rain, even if there's a tinsy bit, I'd say the United States is close to immoral.
Caitlin Malinoff, Karen On is
He
a good
rides so
pointer.
well down there.
Yeah, well, it just it got lost in the. I was there for the Dado Tan Chin Nam, formerly known as the Craigley, and the Awesome Rock flew in that race, and it's interesting that he's $91 in the Cox Plate off that Moonee Valley lead up. But yeah, certainly the United States has found a race to shine there.
I mean, he's beaten Harakai, this is a serious horse, this thing.
It is indeed, and that's very kindly made it way for age. All runners on 59 there. The Moonee Valley Gold Cup, and $4.20 Galante, the Sydney Cup winner. $4.25 Excess Knowledge. $4.60 Who Shot the Barman. $5 Second Wave. and for interest's sake, $21 Grand Marshal.
2,500 metres in Melbourne. I put a question mark there, and then I had a second take, and I thought, okay, all I'm going to do here is use the pearls that Mark has given me about distance races recently.
Yep.
And that found me number 4 Excess Knowledge. It's had the run over the 2,500 metres, fourth up this preparation, came second to its somewhat last preparation. The stable's in form. I like Vlad Jurek as a jockey, although I don't obviously have a lot of expertise in that area down in Melbourne. So I'd have to have number 4 Excess Knowledge on top.
Okay, you would think that Who Shot the Barman needs to shine tomorrow. It's
Gone.
Gone.
But I say that about a lot of distance horses, don't I? And you prove me wrong all the time. So.
Well, it happens, doesn't it? It happens. I've omitted to look up our second wave, who would be in the dossier on the imported horses.
Did you read the article? Sorry, wasn't Who Shot the Barman supposed to run in the Geelong Cup, and they sent the wrong horse down, and then they had to scratch it?
No, I don't.
I read an article on it.
Unaware of that.
Yeah. So it seems a little bit icky.
Okay. I should mention at this point, obviously the Moonee Valley Cup is a lead-up Melbourne Cup, and we've got a fresh set of information about the Melbourne Cup. So previously we published the Caulfield Cup and Cox Plate dossier. I'll be putting together the Melbourne Cup dossier, and that will be $8 for purchases. Anyone who's seen the other dossier will realise that it's quite opinionated, strongly opinionated.
Yes, the amount of work in it's just so thorough.
Yeah, it's gold. So
and you've got, other than Hartnell, it has to be an overseas horse. So you really need to line up your overseas form in the Melbourne Cup, I'd suggest.
Okay, stay tuned there. Finally, the main event, the Cox Plate. And down the page, Happy Trails is 200, Blackheart Bart 25 to 1, Hartnell is 5 to 2, Iraqi 20 to 1, Happy Clapper 150 to 1, Vidamos is $19 or 18 to 1, Awesome Rock is 90 to 1, Winx is 10 to 9 on, Lucia Valentina is 20, and Yankee Rose is 15 to 1. So Imperial odds there just for a change.
You don't often get a champion horse that maps perfectly in black odds. I know it's not black at the moment, but there was black offered earlier on. I'd suggest if you can get anything over even money Winx, it's a good bet.
So when you say she maps perfectly, what are you suggesting?
Well, I'm
here?
suggesting she could take one out, one back. But, we'll see. I'm not much of a map connoisseur, but that's the gist I got off looking at the pace in the race. What do you think?
Yeah, fair enough. Look, it is a great contest, and Hartnell comes into this race off an astonishing win in the Turnbull where he towed up Jamaica, who towed up her opposition.
Yeah.
So
very true.
It's game on for Winx, and I'm so pleased to see that.
Oh yeah, finally a champion that's not a protected species. It's going to be awesome. By the way, there's some other really good horses in this race too, but I just don't think they're up to the level of those two. But, Harakai flew last start. Blackheart Bart is a good little honest trier. Lucia Valentina has some ability. Yankee Rose, new horse on the scene. There's a lot there, but I just can't see one of those two not winning.
Yes. So you'd like to see the Lucia Valentina that turned up in the Queen Elizabeth to just add a little bit more spice
What
to the race.
happens if it's a bolt? What happens if it pours down?
It just doesn't pour in Melbourne. It's not the Melbourne rain isn't like
London.
that. Yeah. Then to reprise the distance, 2040, we got the Vase, which is normally earlier in the program, and God, you'll be so pleased to see your prized icon turning up here for the nightcap. The market reads $4.80 prized icon, $5.50 Sacred Elixir, $6 Sosi Bond, $6.50 Harlow Gold, $7 Whispering Brook, $13 Veladero, and the other Sydney horses Retaliation $21.
Well, prized icon. I thought. Look, I'm not sure whether I've had enough of the horse or not. Clearly, I have it on top. But did you think going back to the inside just wasn't wasn't the perfect run for it last start, was it?
No,
Yeah.
Prized Icon, but I think what you see is what you get. Prized Icon is a tradesman.
Yeah.
You know, he got away with his champagne stakes because there was nothing in the field, and he's just there to be there. And I suppose,
Tradesman can win this race, definitely.
yeah.
Look, I found another one down the bottom here, number 11, Harlow Glow. Out of the Global Glamour I'm a Star race. It's slightly raced. It's fourth up.
It's a filly.
Second
yes.
prep. Ready for the 2,040 metres now. An interesting runner, but I think well found in the market already.
That's $6.50 Harlow Gold. So look, it's a obviously it's a program that's all about the Cox Plate, pretty much as the Melbourne Cup program is all about the Melbourne Cup. But there are tasty little tidbits in and around. Don't forget Mick's Melbourne Mail tomorrow. We'll be covering all races on the Cox Plate program, I think.
I'm just going to do my usual on a Saturday. Anything I like and it matches up with Mick's, I'll have a little bit of a bet on it. They've got great promotions going on with all the corporates at the moment to get nice little value there, particularly if you're a smallish punter. Take advantage of that. I do.
Early and often. So that's the wrap up for Sydney and Melbourne, the Cox Plate Day. We'll be back on Monday with the Rant, where Glenn's got his new toy to show.
Oh, hey, we've got Canterbury racing tonight. Canterbury and the sprint race tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Shaq was drawn gate 1 there. Any thoughts on English in the race?
Had enough of her.
Yeah.
And she could just blow them away, and then I'm just going to lose my money. The one, Shatak was on top for me, but the one that I found at a bit of a price that I thought might run a decent race is Fell Swoop.
Fell Swoop for Gord there. That's the Manikato tonight, the Group 1 on the evening program. Obviously Cox Plate Day tomorrow, and we'll see you on Monday with the Rant.